Hi there. In this video I'm going to show you how to integrate Chatrace into NewOaks AI. Now the reason that I am doing that is because I came across this in the Chatrace community. I came across this post where Humano is asking about a solution for dynamic, like a dynamic database. Let's see, we need a dynamic database that is flexible enough for us to just update a value in a Google Sheet and the bot will have the data available. So just that line there, I was thinking, I've got a solution. Let me show you how to do it. So, first of all, let me just take you to NewOaks. So in NewOaks, if you go to Guide API Document, the two endpoints that you're going to need is in Session and Chat API, and then the one that you're going to be wanting is this one for Get Session. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, number 2, you want to get this one, which is Client Ask. Those are the two. That's all we need. All right, if I go back over here in my webhooks API, you do need a pro account so that you can get access to the webhooks API. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll get the API guide. That's where you can get those endpoints. This over here is like your API key that you'd be familiar with on other platforms. NewOaks have given it a name of chatrobot-sessionkey, and that is your API key kind of thing. Gives you access into NewOaks to be able to use the NewOaks API functions. So anyway, you need that. So copy that. All right. I'm not going to come back here in the video. The other thing that you're going to need is of course, your chatbots. So I'm going to go to a chatbot. In this case, I am just going to. Why is it taking so long? I'm going to use this one here, AI tool list. And if you go into your settings again, over here I got my Chatbot ID. You need that. So these are the two values that you need to get from NewOaks AI. Obviously, so that Chatrace knows which chatbot to talk to, and it also knows that it has authentication. And another thing that you don't get it here, you get it through the API. You get the session ID. So if you go to leads and then chat logs, if you put the session ID in here, I don't have it yet, but we'll come back here, and you can see I've been doing testing an hour ago, and in the chat logs you get your session ID. But you need to get the session ID, because if you don't get a session ID, or if you don't get a dynamic one, and you're just using a session ID, then every person that interacts with your chatbot will be using the same thread. I want to mention this because if you find the NewOaks YouTube channel and you see that there is an integration from Typebot into NewOaks AI. I didn't see the part about creating a dynamic NewOaks session ID, and when I first implemented the integration, everybody that was using the chatbot was on the same conversation. It was very, very confusing. So then I figured out, yep, we need to have each person have their own session ID. Okay, that is, the session ID is different to the API key I mentioned earlier. Anyway, let's go and build this now. Well, not build it, but let me show you how I build it. So the first thing that you want to do is this is the default reply. So I'm talking to advanced Chatrace users here. Make sure that this flow, I've called it NewOaks AI, is your default reply. So the first thing you want to do is when it starts the session, the conversation, do we have a NewOaks session ID? If we don't, we go and get one. If we do, we will continue with the second API call for the conversation. So the first things first, we're going to go in here and let's open that up. So this is that first API endpoint, and it's get session, and then in the response mapping we are getting $.data.session ID, and I am saving it to the NewOaks session ID. Okay, and then once we've got the session ID, that'll be the first time. We are just going to have a welcome message over here. I've chosen in this scenario just to have a static welcome message. You can have a dynamic one integrating into NewOaks AI straight away. So we get a welcome message. You're only going to see this once, and then once the user responds, we are calling the second API endpoint. Okay, and this one is called client ask, and what you will need to pass through is the NewOaks session ID. So you can see every user will have their own unique session ID, and then you will pass through the last input, and then use stream is set to false, and then on the response mapping you go $.data.content and you put it into the AI response, and then you display the AI response over there. And then when the user reads the response and they comment again, they have a conversation again, it's going to come in, it's going to check over here. It's like, okay, we already have a session ID established, and then it's just going to go straight to here, and then that is going to be that is going to be all. Once it's set up, that's all you need. From there, check, do the API call, and it just loops around like that because it's the default reply. Okay, so that's how you do it, and I can test this now. I am, of course, let me go and go to the inbox. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, and I probably need to go to the contacts. Actually, I'm just going to go back to the inbox. I was going to delete myself, but I don't need to. I do not need to. I'm going to go here and I'm going to delete my session ID. So I'm starting a new session ID. There's nothing there. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to start this conversation. I'm going to do it in web chat. So now we're just starting this conversation. And so because it's actually got memory from my last user input, so that didn't really work. But obviously you can see that with a new user they get their welcome message, and now this is all data. Absolutely, I specialize in helping users find the best AI tools. Let me just go, what can you recommend? This next part of the video, I'm going to show you the Google Sheet integration. So could you tell me a bit more about what you're looking for? Anyway, I've just demonstrated that there's no integration to OpenAI in Chatrace. It's all going through NewOaks. So let's spend a bit more time now in NewOaks. Let's go here, So this over here, let me just show you. Here's in the inbox. I will now have a why aren't we seeing the session ID? Alright, there's the session ID. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to NewOaks into the chat log, and if I put the session ID in there, this is the conversation that I've just had. And do you advise on AI tools? Absolutely. So I am now going to show you a little bit more on the NewOaks side with regard to training this. This tutorial is not about training. I just wanted to show you the Google Sheet thing. So over here you got Google Sheets, and then in this case I've already got a sheet, so I'm going to just copy it. I'm just copying the link, and I'll just go here, and so here I've got a list of all AI tools, not that, but why can't I see? There we go. So that was the company info. I was waiting for this to populate. Then the chatbot data is in here. Okay, so I've got a list of tools. These are fixed columns, you can't change it, and so you have to use the Google Sheet that is provided, but you can add as many columns as you want after the first two columns, and you can call them whatever you want. So that's and you can, when you set it up on NewOaks AI, they give you a CSV template. So let me just show you. So if you don't have one, then you can get it. All right. So once you upload it, everything is chunked over here, and so these will be all of the tools, and you can actually go in and you can edit the content, and then you can retrain. But there's also a setting here for scheduling it. You can enable scheduled fetch task, and you can auto sync. So there's documentation with regard to how to do this, and it comes with what do you call it, a script. Okay, so I don't want to, well, I can mess here. You can schedule the frequency every 12 hours, once a day. And what is autosync? Set up Google Sheets. Okay, so autosync, set up Google Sheets app script first and click the save button. So I don't have the documentation of that here. I'm not sure where it is, but I think that to me that makes sense, that when you update the sheet, it will automatically sync. So you got three choices: don't sync at all, or enable and just manually. Let me just cancel this. You can just manually come in and do a retrain, or you can sync on a periodic basis, or you can do the auto sync. And so I've been assured that you can have 10,000 rows in that Google Sheet without any problem. So yeah, give it a try. See how you go. Cool. That's it. That's all I really wanted to show you. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.